Hey, it's ProBook. As you can see, I have my HP ProBook 6450B, rocking an Intel Core i5 520M, I believe 2.4 gigahertz. And if we just pop up Specky, it is 2 cores, 4 threads. It is at 2.4 gigahertz. Sweet. Alright, I was right. So, why am I doing this video? Well, I've owned this laptop for over a year. I got it last year in September, and as you can see, it is 11/15/2015. So this is over a year old. Well, not a year old. This thing's from like 2010. So yeah, obviously it's over a year old, but it's a year from when I got it basically. It's in pretty good condition. I got it refurbished, so it's cheap replacement parts, and I'll show you that later. I did this, like a video like this for my Nook when it turned a year old, so I said, you know what, let's do it for this laptop. It's over a year old, but I think it's a video I should be doing. And I'm actually recording this on my HTC Evo, since this guy, I've recorded quite a few videos with him. It never focuses. Like, I put it right here, and it was just completely blurry. Oh, I was like, oh, it's not blue. And then I couldn't show the date. I actually took like half a video. And they're like, yeah, you can't see the specs. So I said, you know what? I know the HTC is good at doing that, so I got the HTC out. Even if it has a lower resolution, you really don't have that like quality if it's all blurry. So complaint to Samsung, or maybe it's just the ROM I have. Probably both. Or there might be something wrong with the camera. I mean, this wasn't really mine until a few months ago, so I don't know what happened to it for the 2 years it wasn't mine. Probably got damaged. There was some damage to it before when I got it, but you know, that's another video. Anyways, so yeah, I got ripped off on this. I spent way too much money. It was refurbished, but I actually think I got my money back, as it said it came with Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit. It came with Windows 7 64-bit Professional, and it came with 2 different product keys. So I used one. I had to reinstall Windows since their installation is corrupted and virusified. So reinstall Windows, use that one. I'm pointing here because that's where the thing. No, it's over here. The 2 product keys are, I think. So I used that one product key, and then I recently used the other product key on a laptop. An HP laptop that came with Home Premium, but I didn't have a Home Premium disk to reinstall, so I had to use that. It's a professional product key. So I guess I kind of got my money back, considering that Windows 7 Professional is not very cheap, and since I got 2 product keys free, well, technically I had to use one in this one. You know, it kind of evened out. Plus the battery still works. This is actually original to the system, which is amazing, and it still works. You get about an hour battery life, which a little over an hour battery life. If I really want battery life, I go to Linux if I'm web browsing. Otherwise, I'm usually using Windows for most things. It's dual booted, so it selects Windows automatically, and it has like a 1-second timer until it boots into Windows. So I guess I might show that later. So it's actually fairly fast. I mean, it's an i5. It was slow. It was so slow when I got it. The hard drive was damaged, I think. I don't know. It was terrible. So, racked up some money and bought a Kingston SSD, which is, no, I think it's like 240 gigs. Let me go. Summary. 240 gigs, yeah. Kingston, let's see. Home. And check how many times I've turned this thing on. Where is it? Okay. I've turned this on 1,179 times. And I've only been on for 26.5 days. And if you go ahead and go to calculator, you know, I'm doing this for you guys, in case you're all wondering. 26.5 and then times 24 is 636 hours. and I've had the SSD for about a year. I think I bought the SSD around this time, maybe a little later. So, the only thing that worries me is I really don't know how many times you can turn on an SSD, and now this would really damage the hard drives with it spinning up and, stopping. Because I always put this thing in sleep mode. I do my schoolwork, maybe watch a video, use it to play music, and then when I'm done with it, I just close it, or sometimes I'll close it and say, oh crap, I forgot to print it, or it didn't print, so I open it, close it. So there's so many times that I've just put it in sleep. And that goes to the next thing, the Hinge. There is very little play in that look. Focus. It's not that bad. Here, I can just move it down. When you're moving around, it's not that bad. Well, now it's kind of, but. And another nice thing with the SSD is I can go like this, or walk around with it open, and no damage on there. I can like move it all I want, and the fan doesn't really move that fast, so it doesn't even grind. And there's enough clearance that the fan's not a problem. And I'll use another thing, because I keep going into other things. The fan, it only has one fan. It is very quiet. Since this is a ProBook meant for the office, I don't have my flashlight thing on, so you can barely see. Yeah, there you go. You have to have a really good screen to see that. No cheap screen. It's very, very quiet. Very, very little air going through too. So it's like one's really cool. Never gets hot. It goes to like around 160, 170, 180. It varies. When you're video editing, like exporting the video, that's using all the CPU power. So what do you expect? This thing is also not throttled down when it gets hot, unless you unplug it, which that's just to say battery. It's not actually throttling down. It's hot. Like it'll go up to 2.4 gigahertz, maybe 2.5 gigahertz on battery if you're like opening Chrome, but then it'll stop. So it's just to like open programs. It's not to stay there. And those are two other things that I mentioned that we'll be going on to next. Oh yeah, and when it actually is hot, it does blow, and it cools just fine. The screen is a replacement screen, and colors suck ass on this. Excuse my language, but they suck. And I believe this is supposed to be metal on the back. I've seen metal, like if you go to sites. This is plastic. This is the cheapest plastic. As you can see there, it just accumulated scratches all over the place. Oh yeah, and then I have Teddy the dog. I had a sticker, so I said I have to put it somewhere, so, yeah. Basically, there's all these scratches everywhere. And these are not that deep. I mean, they are deep, actually. Well, this one's deep, but they're just, you can't feel them. They're just there. And I can scratch it with my nail like that. There's actually a scratch there from doing that. As you can see, it just, yeah, fake. Not the real. And then there's like, it got dug into, and real metal wouldn't do this. And then that's plastic, but this is metal, pretty sure. Feels like it. The battery, let's see, Ethernet, 1 gigabyte, Ethernet, a VGA, power, fan, obviously, and then let's move this over so you can actually see. Let's see, and it's this. I believe that's the display port. Let's see, does it fit? Yep, that's the display port. There it goes. There goes something on my desk. I don't know. I'll go find it later. But basically, this is a display port to VGA, and not VGA, DVI, since it only does VGA, and VGA is analog, so it's all like fuzzy when I use it. Plus, that means I can have 2 screens connected, and display port's also standard, so it's not like when I get rid of this laptop, I can't use it, because video cards and all laptops just have it. And then it has a nice little locking feature. This is a Dell, by the way. I got it on Amazon for like $5. works great. Usually I just don't have a use for it. I mean, school projects, if you have to bring in your computer, they use VGA since they're, cheap and they don't care if the video is fuzzy. And then you have a USB 2.0 port, USB 2.0, and then you have an eSATA port right here, which also acts as a USB port. So I just use my wireless mouse and plug it in there. I haven't used it as an eSATA port though, so I don't know if it actually works. Then we have this is a microphone jack and a headphone jack. They don't automatically switch; they always are activated, and you have to go into Windows sound devices to like activate these. So if you plug it in, it doesn't really recognize. Then we have just a blank card, so you can put a card in here if you want to. I believe it's like some sort of PCI thing. I really didn't do my research on that because I don't have a use for it. Okay, move over here. We have a DVD. Here, let me just move this up so I can read it. It's a rewritable. Can you focus? DVD, rewritable. Okay. And compact disc, and that's rewritable. So we also have an extra USB port. You really can't see anything, but this is an SD card slot. Trust me. And this right here is a modem. So, and then I never can pronounce it. It's a lock, so you can lock it there. So yeah. And then it came with a fake charger, which I will show. Alright, so moving on to the charger. I had to cut that, sorry. This is an HP charger. It came with a fake charger. Not like fake, yeah, it was a Chinese knockoff charger. Really cheap one that broke. So I bought this. It's an HP. Here's the old HP logo. This is for like the DV6-7 series. ProBook, whatever. 120 watts, so it charges the battery nice and fast. So yeah, no complaints on that. Definitely worth $20 on eBay. Use on HP's website are like $100, so I think that's a bit of a ripoff. So let's move back onto the computer. And we're back. So this thing was a very good machine, good little machine. Supposedly this is water resistant keyboard, and it's supposed to go down through like a little drain down there. I don't know if that's actually true, because every laptop I seem to look at claims they have it, but I've actually looked into it, and it seems like the ones I claim, they actually don't. So let's put water on the laptop 3 times. Most of them were very little. One time I dropped a little bit of water, a glass of water here, and another one there. Both of times I'd instantly take out the charger and take out the battery within 2 seconds. So yeah, I let it dry out for a day, and it came back just fine. So I don't think it was affected too much. Now let's go to the graphics. It does not have a graphics card. It is supposedly a generic PNP monitor, which is that cheap thing, and then Intel HD graphics by HP. So I guess that's just the HP driver. So it's okay. I mean, it's more powerful than like a 2004 laptop with the at the time state of the art graphics card. So I mean, you can play basic games like Line, Polybridge, not really BMG, Besiege, Laggy, Broforce, no problem. Gary's Mod, depending on the map. Just okay games. And then like Guild Wars, 30 FPS on low graphics. And I can do Word and Chrome and everything just fine. Yeah, and then Minecraft, let's see, when was that even opened? Yeah, curiosity, nah, it doesn't say. No. I was curious to see when the last time that thing was opened, but apparently not. I've actually used it as a web server. It runs good, just no problem. Doesn't take much to run a web server. So yeah, very good machine. I don't know how much longer I want this thing to last. I mean, holiday season means that prices are being ramped up, but in that new models are going to be coming out within the next 4-ish months. So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to keep it for a little bit longer, but I don't know, just depends on the budget and what I need. But yeah, one thing, this thing did not come with a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, but it has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. That's nice, very fast. And then one last thing, unless I remember something, in which case it will probably be edited in. As you can see, that's the speaker, but for some reason it's peeling off because it's not original. But I don't know how that happened. I just was feeling around here one day. I don't know, for some reason. I said, that is not right. And then, yeah, it's basically peeling off. I don't know why, but it is. But speakers are okay. There's no bass to them. They get loud, but they sound like tinfoil. They don't sound good, but they do what they were intended to do. So I can give it that. And then power button. This thing. It just says I just crashed the QLBC controller, which controls the FN key functions and these, except for that Wi-Fi button, which I just turned off. That I've never used, and now it will not work, since I broke the driver. Off and on, and then it's volume up and down buttons. Now, for the longest time, I couldn't get that to work, and every time you shut the laptop down, it would make a pop noise. I figured out it was just the wrong driver, since I said Linux doesn't do it. It should not. And then it has one last thing, I guess. Will it even load? Probably not. I think I'll have to manually open it. Let's see. It does this. It doesn't work after you put the computer in sleep mode, but basically it shows how much power you're using. So, I don't know. It's an okay feature. I don't even know how accurate it is, but it's there. It doesn't work after you put it in sleep mode. You have to shut it down and turn it back on, which I don't do. I just put it in sleep mode, so it's rare that that thing actually works. So yeah, that's a lot of history. It really hasn't been beaten up. I mean, I've taken care of it. I guess now that it's on, I can show that it does have a drive. And it plays movies fine. I mean, I've only used it to install Windows, really. I want maybe a movie on it. No Blu-ray, which is really unfortunate. I really wanted this thing to have Blu-ray, but for that one time I wanted to watch a movie, but, whatever. So, yeah. Very nice little computer. Was it worth the money? I guess. I mean, I could have bought it on eBay for a lot cheaper, but at least this one you was refurbished. No dents or scratches, because if there were a dent there, they replaced the part with the cheap plastic one, but, you know, they did give me an accidental, product key. Minus a working hard drive, so, yeah. The original hard drive was like 200 gigs, so an SSD really there's no difference there. So, yeah, that's, I think it. Oh yeah, one more thing. There's a webcam on here, in theory. You can see right there. That's not a webcam, actually. It's just a piece of plastic that they put there. The refurbisher put there, and thought it'd be funny to put a little thing there. There's nothing there, and you can actually see the screen through there. Yeah. See that little light there? That's just the backlight, so nothing there. just that, I don't know, to make a selling point that apparently I think it's supposed to be like a one megapixel webcam, but it turned out to be a 0 megapixel, 0 FPS, 0 anything camera. So yeah, and you know, as long as I'm ranting, the trackpad's okay. Doesn't feel nice. The clicking of the buttons feel very nice. Makes a nice tactile sound, I guess you could say. That's that. The way that this thing closes, it latches. You can see, go like that. There's no magnet in it, so it doesn't know when you're opening it. So it doesn't turn on when you open it from sleep mode, which is kind of annoying. And if you go like this, it considers itself closed, so it goes to sleep mode like that. Or I believe it's some part of the mechanism in here. But it's stupid and doesn't know that it's being opened, question mark? No setting in the BIOS for that, so yeah. Overall, it's an okay laptop. If you're gonna get an HP laptop, I guess like the ProBook and the Elite books are very nice. The consumer grade, they more focus on I guess like graphics and power and how hot they get, because they get really hot. These are cool and quiet. I'm not going over keyboards, but keyboard, just pop these off and put them back on. But that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for posting such a ranty video. I know. I think this is the first one that's so long. More gaming videos. So, got a thing working. As you saw in my previous videos, I don't know. The microphone works perfectly fine. I just don't know what to record. I'm recording some BeamNG Drive videos. There's no point of putting commentary in it, so I might. Probably gonna do some games. I have a lot of games I want to do. It's just they're like indie games that I have on my laptop, but they don't go to the Steam cloud, so I can't go on my main computer. Sad face. Wah, wah, wah. Other than that, I think that covers it all. Light blank. As you can see, it actually shuts off and on, but you can't see that because of the camera. It's not refreshing fast enough, my camera, to see that it turns off, but it does turn off because it's connected to the same circuit as this, and this thing, like, it slowly dims and goes back on. This one's a different type of LED. It takes less power, so it doesn't dim properly. So, camera doesn't see it, but it's there.